to order.
Go ahead. and
Okay,
tell the
roll call,
au-
please.
Tell the audience that we've already done the,
We've already said the pledge. Roll call, please.
Jenny David. Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Charles Wiltie.
Here.
Brenda Simmons.
Yes,
Craig Scott.
here,
okay. Everybody look at the agenda. Is there any deletions or additions to the agenda? If not, we need a motion to approve the agenda
have-
as written.
I have an addition.
Okay.
Our Parks and Rec committee, I left you a message, but we need to buy a lawnmower over $2,000. Am I gonna need approval tonight? Approval from the
That's,
board?
rule on that is we need to get 3 quotes and then bring it to the board with a recommendation.
Oh, we have 3 quotes.
Okay, so
I don't know that we have them in writing, but we have,
kind of need it in writing, but if we can bring it to committee of the whole next week, we can
okay, all right.
shepherd it through.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Nope.
Okay, need a motion to accept the agenda as written.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Is there any declarations of conflict of interest?
I have none.
I have none.
No conflicts. Okay, review the minutes of June 27, 2024. Has everybody read those?
I've read the minutes. Of reception.
Did you notice any changes that need to be made? Did they?
From what I read, I didn't see any changes.
Okay, Craig?
I'll support.
Okay. All in favor of accepting the minutes as written for filing?
Aye.
7th June.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Committee of a whole meeting on July 2nd. Has everybody read those?
I've read the minutes. Make a motion, we approve them.
Do we have a second?
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Meeting's accepted as written. For public comment, we do public comment. The first public comment we do is on agenda items only. And the agendas are at the back of the table if you'd like to see what is on the agenda. So those are what we can make comments on during this public comment. The public comment towards the end of this meeting is general public comment, and you can make those comments on any item you wish. Just so there's no misunderstanding what we could say on which public comment. And the second public comment is right after the commissioner reports. Any public comment on agenda items only? Any public comment on agenda items only from the floor? Okay, no public comments. We have court. Yes,
I just wanted to say I'm listening. I'm not here, but I'm listening. This is Commissioner David.
I know, and I can say whatever I want.
Just your name's on the screen.
Thank you. Okay. Correspondence, we have a correspondence from El Salvador Valley Community Mental Health, Grand Traverse County and Huron County. Everybody looked at those? We just file as.
Yes.
We'll put those on record as filed. Okay, we have a consent agenda here. One is resolution to approve the zoning map amendment. A resolution to approve extension of computer system and software license sales agreement. A resolution to authorize execution of subdivision participation and release form and partial settlement of the National Prescription Opioid litigation. And D, resolution to appoint a transit director. Anybody want to add or delete from this consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and consent A, B, and C.
Okay, not D?
No.
Okay. We do D later?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve A, B, C on the consent agenda items. Do we have a support for that motion?
I'd like to take them individually. That's what we always do. I'd like to keep it that way.
Okay.
Okay, I need that to bring it up on my computer. I don't have my computer out.
It's on that sheet that I handed you.
Thank you.
Starting down at the bottom of page 2.
7A. Okay, resolution to approve zoning map amendment 01-24. This resolution is sponsored by Planning and Zoning Administration, Ryan Veeder. Antonio Santos seeks to rezone 2.29 acres located on 3315 North M33 from Industrial District M1 to Local Business District B1 to allow for open air business. At the public hearing held on June 26, 2024, the County Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of the rezoning request. The Michigan Zoning Enabling Act requires that amendments to be adopted. Zoning ordinance must be approved by a majority vote of the members of the Board of Commissioners. Approval of the resolution will provide final approval of the proposed change. Do we have a motion to accept this resolution, to pass this resolution? We have a,
You got it from
Okay.
Roger. I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item 7B, resolution to approve extension of computer system and software license sales agreement. This resolution is sponsored by Register of Deeds Denise Simmons. On August 9th, 2019, the Board of Commissioners entered into a computer system and software license sales agreement with Fiddler Technologies for services provided to the Register of Deeds office. Fiddler Technologies has offered to extend the current agreement by 5 years, and the Register of Deeds has expressed satisfaction with the services provided by Fiddler. Approval of the resolution will authorize the board chairman to execute the 5-year land records life cycle extension with Fiddler Technologies commencing on August 1st, 2024 and terminating on July 31st, 2029. Expenditures associated with this extension will be assigned to the Register of Deeds Automation Fund. Do I have a motion to support?
Make that motion.
I'll support.
Any discussion?
Well, it's something we do every 5 years and been very well explained by the Register of Deeds.
Yes, it was last time. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Item 7C, resolution to authorize execution of subdivision participation and release form and partial settlement of the National Prescription Opioid litigation. This resolution is sponsored by Administrator Controller Timothy Dolahany. The National Opioid Settlements Implementation Administrator recently announced a new settlement agreement with Kroger. A companion intrastate agreement was reached with the Michigan Attorney General patterned after the earlier agreements, which contemplates that the proceeds from the new settlement will be split 50-50 between the state of Michigan and local governments. The Kroger settlement is not as large as many of the other settlements, which is in part a reflection of Kroger's smaller retail pharmacy market share. If approved, the total amount Ogama County will receive under the Kroger settlement will be approximately $121,842.96, payable over 11 years. Approval of the resolution will authorize the county administrator controller to sign any necessary documents to accept the settlement agreement on behalf of the county. Do I have a motion for support?
I would like to make this motion.
I'll support.
Thank you. Any discussion? Comments?
In the
Yeah.
commissioner reports, I'm gonna be talking about the opioid settlement meeting we had before this, and I'll talk a little bit.
Okay.
I'm good on this.
Okay. Okay, all in favor of this resolution, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Okay, we have item 7D.
70.
Mr. Scott, you,
I wanted to keep it separate. You guys, the transit committee, I think you're probably want to introduce this.
the chairman, the transit committee's right there.
Absolutely. We actually have our new hire here today. Tony, would we have Tony to come up here and
By all means, yes.
On the spot.
On the spot. I
On the
wasn't prepared for
spot.
this one.
Sit on down, don't worry about the
Sit
wire.
down, Todd. This isn't gonna be anything. So last Monday, we had our interviews. We had some really good candidates. Tony did a great job. We're really looking forward to what Tony's gonna bring to the future of the transit. Can you just tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so my name is Tony Dubé. I was actually the recruiter for the area for the last 3 years. I have a background in the Marine Corps and transportation logistics. Which is why I sought after the opportunity to be the transit director. I'm originally from Michigan. I'm from Alcona County. My wife's from Oscoda. She actually teaches at Shoreline as well and plan to make West Branch her home. So again, this is a really great opportunity for us to really settle down and get our roots in.
Nice. I'm very glad to meet you, and we're very happy that you are taking this position and look forward to working with you.
Same here.
So we have a motion to,
I'll make a motion to make the appointment.
I will definitely support that.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Well, you're favored. You're on.
You're on.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Will you be at our ribbon cutting ceremony on the 18th?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. You'll be out, see everybody then, plus passengers probably. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here tonight.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Okay, claims are next. Majority vote on motion approved to claims needed.
I'll make a motion.
Who did the claims?
Myself and Commissioner David did the claims. this
Okay,
week. Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, claims were light. I know we made a call into Tracy, there was no claims for the sheriff department or the jail. And we also told you that, Tim, if there's been any information on that or,
Other than I can verify that, that's the case. It's unusual. But yeah, I can't offer anything more than that.
but other than that, nothing stood out. Sure Jenny David would say something to something.
Sheriff Gilbert, was there any reason, weren't any claims submitted this month?
The short explanation is our administrative assistant was on vacation. There were a limited number of bills,
Okay,
and for some reason, we didn't have our calendar.
okay,
Bypassed it, we'll be submitting them in the next round of claims. But there was only two of them that were there. In front of them, they weren't brought over. It just will be included in the next one.
the only thing I saw, that took my eye was the, $42,000 in, district court. But then when I looked at the sheet, I understood completely what they were there, 2/4 of salary for the court administrator and the judge, so that pretty much explains why it was that much money.
Yeah.
So, okay, we have a motion to pass
Need
to,
an amount.
the amount is, I knew you were gonna ask me that. $159,791. Is that the one? Or is it $187,407.56?
I believe it was a 187.
Okay, it's 187,407.56, $187,407. 56 cents.
I'll make a motion pass.
Okay, roll call, please.
Roger Mayhew,
Yeah.
Charles Wiltie.
Yes.
Brenda Simmons,
Yes.
Craig Scott.
Yes.
Unfinished business, there is no unfinished business. It's now time for the administrative controller's report.
You've got the written report on with the mini material. Just one thing I want to point out in there, we are coming to the end of the UKG conversion. That's the new software for the payroll system. It hasn't been without its challenges, but it's been a good process. There's a lot of detail that went into this to make sure that when an employee clocks in, they're clocked into the proper account and all of the various vacation and personal day rules and everything that goes with it. We've been testing for the last couple of pay periods and we're able to clean a lot of it up. We're technically live now, so when the next payroll is processed a week from Monday, it will be using the new system. We're still using the old system right now, just to make sure that we don't want to be missing any paydays. So we're just going to be sure, but it appears right now it's all going to work just fine. It's definitely different from the old system, but I think once everyone gets used to what they're seeing now on their computer screens, it will be as efficient as the Novatime system was for us. So very, I think, a very positive move. Earlier today, we had a meeting of our opioid committee, and the committee had asked a question to be presented to our attorneys regarding the use of the opioid funds. I would like your authorization to release that opinion to the opioid committee so they can see the detail that went into this. So there's an analysis that had to go into each of the various settlements, and particularly that one that we call Appendix E. And it gets into some great detail about why or why not a purchase might be authorized or may be legitimate under the settlement agreements. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to be able to just release that opinion to the committee, and they'll have it for conversation next month and beyond as they start deliberating on using some of those funds.
The committee gets to see it, well, we commissioners get to see that also.
Absolutely, you will. Yes.
All right,
Thank you.
We need a motion to,
I need a motion from the board that says that it's okay to release it because
I'll
otherwise.
make the motion to release that information.
I'll second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Also at the meeting, one of our members, Scott Izzo from the Health Department, asked if we would consider a letter of support for a Health Department grant. Unfortunately, the deadline for their submitting the grant, kind of like the ones we dealt with last time, is Monday. So we don't have time to take this to a committee of the whole meeting or have a lot of dialogue about it. The grant is something called the District Health Department #2 Taking Charge Sexual Health Program. It's a program they've delivered over several years now to seventh graders during school hours. And it is one that they're able to encourage healthy and safe decisions with the seventh graders. And if this is something you're interested in, he did send me a draft letter of support. We can certainly crank it out quickly, but only with your authorization would we do that.
So we need a motion for this, right?
Yes.
Okay, motion to support this request,
Definitely second.
okay,
Is that your motion?
that's my motion.
Okay.
Any discussion? I have a little discussion. They use lots of grants for a lot of wonderful programs they have, so not to allow for this particular grant to support it would be not a good decision. We need to support this grant.
And I'd like to make a comment too. Scott's a very strong member of our opiate settlement committee, very intelligent guy, works for the health department. This would obviously, if we could get this grant, would do good things. So I hope that we will support it for sure.
The Health Department needs, and that they do a lot of grant writing, so. Do we need to, we don't need a roll call. We can just support this request.
With a voice vote is
Okay.
fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Okay,
Question. I have a question for Tim. The paragraph about the driving, the motor vehicle record.
yeah, I wanted to ask.
We seem to have quite a few seven that have responded out of 16.
Right. So just to capsulize, we were a few years ago approached or asked by our insurance carrier to make sure that we had certain information from anybody driving a car on our behalf. So that would be an employee, it could be a volunteer. If you're driving a vehicle in the county, they need certain information to provide just for our rates. So we ask each year that our employees complete a form online. It's a very simple form, a couple of pieces of information. And what carriers primarily after is that we're not allowing people to drive on behalf of the county who maybe have a questionable driving record. So if there are certain infractions that they've been cited for, that's a higher risk and they would rather that we not have those individuals driving. So we adopted a policy, we set forth that criteria, and I think this is the second full year that we've had it. Well, when we come up for renewal, and that will happen here in the next couple of months, they're going to ask for that data. So we just need to hand it over and they can literally check that box. I have 7 employees who were signed on last year that I've not heard from yet this year. So what I do each year is go through, you may remember the Seamless Dock program that we bought several years ago. Allows me a very efficient, quick audit of who all has signed and who has not. We've identified those employees, sent notice out to them saying, please complete the form, a link to do that. I've not heard from 7 of those employees in the past week. So the next step will be to re-engage those employees through emails, but also contact their department heads to complete the loop. And we had the same thing happen last year. It's something that's very easy to put on a back burner or overlook. It's just a matter of making sure that we have that. I know some of the individuals drive on a regular basis for the county, though, so it's very important that we get this record complete. And I'm very confident within the next week or 2, we'll have that gap closed and off and running again for another year.
Good, we need to.
I had discussion about that. What about those commissioners that drive to meetings like NEMSCA and stuff representing the county? Then our driving record should be in there too, right?
It should, yes.
Well, you're not driving a county vehicle though.
Doesn't matter. I'm
Yeah, this
still
is
driving a vehicle
County or
representing the
personal,
county.
if you're
Oh.
representing
Okay.
county.
I just saw that and I thought, that should apply to us too.
I will send you the link and
I'd be more than happy to fill it out. I have a perfect record.
we can fix that later, Ken.
Sheriff, be careful.
That's perfect.
Don't be stopping me now. Just because I said that. All right, I just thought, but we do drive to different places
Oh, yeah.
representing the county in our own vehicles. So I thought, probably applies to us. Okay, elected official and department head reports. We have individuals here that have reports from their particular areas. We have buildings and grounds department. No?
They just provided.
There's a report on our.
Oh, I thought they were going to. Is there anyone here that's going to be speaking on behalf of their department? Sheriff Gilbert, please come forward. Good evening.
Just a quick note, correction officer Bell has been accepted in the Delta Academy. So he is enrolled. With that in mind, we've started the recall on some individuals that had been laid off to back to that position. So we're confident that one of them will come back. So we're working on that. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a report that in fact, Bell is cleared everything and he is now enrolled and then we're going to start the process of the money, with our.
Who will be paying for that academy for him?
Well, we want to get Michigan Works involved. We're gonna try to do that. And then, the other, what was that other one that was? MCOs has got money placed off the side, but we don't know how much money is there until that individual has that seat, and then we'll know what that money is, so.
So if these two organizations don't come up with the funds, then where does it come from?
We will come to you folks.
And we don't have any money.
Well, we will,
I know you're gonna give it out of your own pocket.
well,
I like that.
we're gonna come back to you folks and then we're gonna figure it out. That's what we're gonna try to do.
All right.
Yeah.
It's just a question. I need-
Come through all the time.
Yeah.
before.
I hope they do,
We're hoping. that-
because there's such a
We
shortage.
don't know exactly till that individual has got the seat. Once he has a seat, then they start opening up a little bit more to us.
And Sheriff, has a conversation started with Michigan Works? Because I know there's a good possibility there too.
Yeah, yes. Yep, definitely.
Has that started or not yet? Yeah.
I sent an email. She called me back today and we started conversation, so we're trying to figure out which arenas one and possibly both fit.
Good.
So I've got an email out to M. Coles to find out when we can expect to know for sure that that money's been reserved for our trainee that currently is assigned.
So that's where we're at, and we're doing a background right now on the other individual. Hopefully that background comes, we're doing a real thorough background on that other individual, so
Thank you. Let's hope everything comes out smooth.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Does the treasurer have a report this evening?
I do. Karen Pulowski, your Oklahoma County Treasurer. Your financial reports for June and for the quarter end June 30th are on your iPads along with your risk assessment. I would like to again mention that your negative cash for general fund is highlighted at 3.4 million, operating without best practice. Thank you.
So we're at a negative 3.4 million right now.
$3,488,315.17 to be exact.
I got that. Hit that number?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
I got it. Funny man. Anyone else from the floor have? Yes, please come forward. 4H.
Hi, I'm Julie Darden, District Director for MSU Extension. Just give you a brief update about what we have going on. We're about a month out from the county fair, and we are sharing information tonight. I'm going to go to the fair board meeting tonight to share information about a statewide webinar that covers the issues around highly pathogenic avian influenza, or HPAI, and how fairs will have to deal with the protection order that was issued by Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development to make sure that animals and human safety is maintained at fairs. Unfortunately, there was a long period of time without any reported cases, but just recently there was a reported case, which means that there probably won't be any dairy animals at the fair this year, but we'll find out more information about that. There has to be a certain interval before there can be animals at the fair, but there's also a testing protocol. So the Michigan Association of Fairs and Exhibitions, Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, the Veterinary Testing Center, and Michigan State University Extension are doing education with all the fairs and exhibitions that are happening all over the state. So as you know, fairs are going on right now, and will continue through mid-September. So we expect that information will be helpful. From what I know right now, there is a test required, but there's confusion over what animals need to be tested and what, where to get the tests, quite honestly. So hopefully that informational meeting will help everyone. And that is going to happen Tuesday, July 15th at 7 p.m. So I'll be sharing that tonight with the fair board members. You have a question?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So that tells me there won't be any auctioning off of animals this year.
No, they can still have an auction. They just can't have animals present. So
How can you bid on an animal if you can't even see it?
well, I mean, so for dairy animals, most of the time the auction is a gallon of milk
Right.
auction, so that can still take place. I'm not sure, and quite honestly, we don't run the auction. That's the purview of the fair. So I would hesitate to venture into that area to speak on behalf of the fair. I'm not
All right.
authorized to do that.
And I guess I should ask the fair people, because usually I buy at the auction.
Yeah, so this would affect mainly animals from dairy herds, not beef animals.
Okay.
But if a dairy farm, for example, raises beef animals, there may need to be some testing involved and understanding of what protocols need to be followed. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really educated about all that, so I'll leave that up to experts to help people navigate that process.
Yeah, the fair board was happening.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
did talk with Ricky Rao on Monday, and she had already been in touch with veterinarians to get more information about what their understanding of the order was and how to navigate that. So she's, of course, very professional, proactive, a long time and valued volunteer, award-winning, quite honestly. So I'm not worried about the way that that's navigated. I'm sure it's all in hand. I can also share with you that there's a canine club that has started in the county to help youth get involved with not only obedience, but maybe in the future agility with canine. We certainly have equipment to do agility activities with dogs, so encouraging youth to get involved in that. And I'll also say if anyone needs a fair book, we do have some here at the office. They were dropped off, so if anyone in the area needs one, we're one of the many places in the community where you can get a fair book.
When you had the dog obedience training like that and agility training, can adults get involved in that?
We can have adults as volunteers. We certainly would welcome adults to join the
No, but if
cadre
I
of
have-
volunteers.
If we had a dog, I'd like to have them go through a process like that.
Okay, well, I mean, if you could recruit a youth to train your dog, maybe they could be involved in that. We are very careful about the way we include adults in our activities with youth, so you would have to go through the same screening process that our volunteers go through.
Do you ever think there'd be a program for adults and their dogs?
Well, that is not something that we might run, but it could be, maybe there could be a program where youth are teaching adults about dog obedience, and there could be a club around that. We would have to figure out how to make that happen, but that is a possibility.
It's just a thought.
I will let Stephanie know that that's an idea that was raised and see how she can help navigate that. But again, we would need to make sure that we had enough adult volunteers who were screened to be present with youth and adults that are not screened. So.
Okay,
if
thank you.
that's helpful. Okay, that's really all the update that I have. If you have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to reach out. You know where to find me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other department heads? Yes. Oh, our county clerk.
Brett Gildner, your Ogama County Clerk. First of all, I would like to welcome you, Tony. You work with our office with claims, so we're glad to have you on board. Second election, we have a couple different townships have begun doing their pre-testing. And we haven't had any issues with our ballots or our machines, so that's a positive. We are doing the testing, public accuracy testing Monday at 1 o'clock. Karen and myself were the county election commission. Judge Williams is also, but he's out of town, so we're gonna have somebody from my staff. We're gonna do the public accuracy testing at 1 in the commissioner chambers.
What date is that?
Monday. I don't know.
15th?
Well,
15th.
I'd say the 11th, but I'd be wrong.
That'd be today.
15th.
The 15th, Monday, the 15th, yeah. That's where we're, early voting. We are doing early voting at the county building for this election. That starts the 27th and ends the 4th. So July 27th through August 4th, 8:30 to 4:30 in the commissioners' chambers.
You said it one more time.
July 27th through August 4th, 8:30 to 4:30 in the commissioners' chambers. Actually really excited about doing the early voting this time because with the grant that the state of Michigan gave us, we bought a new it's a ballot on demand. So we have, it's like the voter assist terminal where you might not know what that is, but every precinct has to have a voter assist terminal where it's like a computer. You vote on there and it prints out your ballot and then you run it through the tabulator like normal. The ballot on demand, actually, you tell it what precinct you belong to, and then it brings up the ballot. And then you just print the ballot out. So we decided this time we were gonna do that because we thought we don't know how many voters we're gonna get. So instead of spending a bunch of money on ballots for every township, when we may get 2 people from
Yep.
Goodar or we might get 30. We have no idea because, it's the second time, but it is a big election. So we are doing I have 3 machines. We're doing printing the ballots right there. And honestly, when we did our pre-testing, it was so simple, so quick and easy. It's not gonna take a long time. It literally, you put a code in for your jurisdiction and pull it up, hit print, and it prints, and front and back. Take it to your booth and vote, and then it's a normal ballot.
Instead of just filling in the circles on there, will you still be able to write in the write-in candidates on that? Also on that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, so the voter assist, you would do your ballot on the computer. And then it gives you the option for write-ins. You just type in, it's like a keyboard on there. You type in the name. you
Person's
want.
name, okay.
But the ballot on demand, which is what we're using to print the ballots, that's just basically printing a ballot blank and you fill it out on your own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we did training for the election inspectors yesterday and today. And I really tried promoting the use of the voter assist terminals just because it is the primary election. You can't cross vote between Democrat and Republican, and those voter assist terminals don't allow it. It just doesn't give you the opportunity to do
Cross?
that. Yeah.
That's good.
Yep. So we'll see what jurisdictions, how they end up using, if they use the VAT more this election. But I'm super excited about this early voting just for the fact of,
And that equipment.
yeah. And we use Spectrum is the company that we use to order our supplies. And I ordered 600 blank ballots, cost me $109, which is nothing compared to the 8,000 for the countywide. I mean, it's all the jurisdictions, but yeah, so I think it'll be better off in the long run, financially. And until we get an idea of how this early voting is gonna go, makes the most sense.
So all you voters out there can vote at the county building
Absolutely.
from July 27th.
Through August 4th from 8:30 to 4:30.
There you go. It once, pretty easy. Any other comments from department heads? Any comments from the
Mr. Nichols is on the phone. I don't know.
Jeff?
No, I don't have anything. Thank you.
All right,
So voting 7 days a week?
Yes.
yes,
9
Yes,
days,
it's 9 days
straight,
early, so
Every day,
Consistent.
Sundays, Saturday, Sunday, every day.
2 weekends before election day, yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Commissioners? Mr. Wiltie, you have anything?
I've just a couple things. This past Tuesday, we had the Mills Township meeting. Our meetings have been very highly attended lately. There's a few pretty hot topics. Pretty much probably the biggest thing right now is the library. The library still is only open 1 day a week in Skidway, and there's, a lot of people quite upset about it. So they are working on resolution for that, and it is looking like most likely the township board is going to bring up in August that it will go to, and it's gonna have to happen before the deadline, which is coming up
August or November?
for November,
Yes,
for
okay.
November.
August
The
13th,
taking it,
yeah.
letting the Mills Township residents make the decision on the library, whether or not they want to support it or not. So that's been a real big topic. Skidway Lake Beach project, beautiful. You guys ever get over that way? It's a beautiful park. That was all done with local contractors. Run into a little issue with some electrical and some lights right now, but other than that, that park is done. People are using it. It really turned out nice. Sting was supported by Mills Township, which was good to see. The new lieutenant there, he came in and talked with the township board and everyone in attendance. It was nice to see him there, and they voted to support Sting, so I was very happy to see that. Another issue in Mills Township's been there a long time, is blight. We do have a blight officer. A lot of the residents feel that he's not doing his job. So that's an ongoing saga. Other than that, before the meeting today, we had our opioid settlement meeting. You know, we're really getting to that point now where Rihanna from Michigan State University, they have everything together for the surveys and the focus groups. So we have our next meeting on August 8th, and we should be getting all of that material back. So we're really hoping to get some really, you know, good information on that. And again, we have a real strong committee there. We have some real intelligent people in the field that are working with, you know, people that are fighting these issues. And we're really hoping that, you know, starting next month, we can start to figure out, you know, what direction we're gonna head. After next month with the Kroger settlement, we are gonna have right around $1 million. So we definitely want to spend this money right. You guys have heard me say this. We want to make sure that we're spending money because this is such an important topic. It affects so many people in our county, but we want to spend the money and get processes put in place that are going to be long lasting. We know that there's been some counties that have jumped the gun with this and they've spent a lot of money and they're looking back at it now with nothing to show. And we don't want that to happen, but we know there's a definite problem here in the county. And we want to be able to start using this money to help fix that problem, so. More to come.
About the opioid committee, I've heard good comments about what you just said, taking the time to make sure you spend the money appropriately. Unlike others that didn't take the time to make sure that they were spending it in the right way.
Right.
So I've had a lot of positive comments about that committee.
Good. That's everything I have for tonight.
Commissioner Scott?
Oh, okay, went to Parks and Rec Committee meeting this morning. We had it over in Mills Township. We met at the High Banks and took a little tour down the stairs and into the river and stuff. And we're happy to see that the new signs for no ORVs were put up and the ORVs have quit riding across the yard. So it seems that, believe it or not, a sign worked. So then we went down to the fire station and had a meeting down there. Our parks, our budgets, our revenues are down a little bit, but the good thing is our costs are down also. So for the fourth quarter coming, for the 3 quarters we've had. So we talked about renovations to the hall at the nature park. So the new well is in the ground now, and so things are coming along up there. RV park is just packed full of people all the time. Had a small electrical problem, but it was taken care of. And as far as the High Banks go, the 501c3 is formed. They didn't know that they had to have the employee identification number, but that you can do that right online. So
Yep.
He'll be getting that so that they can set up the 501c3 can have a bank account. So
Nice.
it's
That'll be
coming.
Nice for the
It's
high
coming.
banks, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
I
So,
think Mr. Johnson's done a really good job with that.
very good, very good.
Yeah, very good, yeah.
So that's, I was not able to get up to Gloucester Township this month. And I missed the last city meeting, but I imagine that it was well taken care of. Yeah, and then I got other meetings coming next week, so that's all I got.
Commissioner Mayhew?
Oh, I went to West Branch Township and the way they talk, they're gonna remove the trailer from Mays Road if that guy don't. And they had their audit. Like watching paint dry, yeah.
Going pretty well. I was there, also, yeah.
I went to Rose Township and they're working on their draft for the first draft on ownership of the fire department. And I was asked, and I didn't understand, and maybe I didn't hear, but when they was gonna be reimbursed for the election, May election, maybe.
I'm waiting on clarification.
Okay, now I've just asked,
They just sent me, I asked for everybody to turn in their reimbursement form by the end of July, and then I just received my last one today, plug that in, and now I need to meet with Tim so that we can make sure that we're all on the same page.
like you said, I just tell them, I asked.
I can send an email out to all of them and tell them we're
Okay.
soon.
That's all I got.
Okay, I went to a few meetings, last few days. I even went to an extra one today, mental health board, that I wasn't even aware of, so just before this meeting. So I went to Edwards, West Branch Township and Horton Township. West Branch Township, like Mr. Mayhew said, had a good audit. And I talked to West Branch Township, they wanted to know about the transit. And I spoke to them about Tony, he's gonna be on board and starting July 22nd is my understanding. And we're real excited about that. And I also told them about the grand opening for the building on July 18th. And the Commission on Aging was there, so I gave my flyers to the Commission on Aging, and she's gonna make sure the appropriate people get those, like the people who ride the transit bus. So that would be helpful. Another issue I had, the commissioners at the township meetings was they're concerned about on-call road patrol. They asked me lots of questions about it, and they really weren't happy about it. And I explained to them that if you're unhappy about something, then you need to come to the Board of Commissioners meeting to let them know. The whole board needs to know from you, the townships, what your complaints are, be it on-call road patrol or any other issue that may arise. You know, you can tell your commissioners all you want, and they can present it to the board. However, if you have the complaints, it helps when you are here talking to the board and making that known. So it's not just one person speaking here at the table about complaints, but all three of my township had complaints about that and had big concerns and wanted to know why they were paying road patrol millage for on-call road patrol, because that's not what they voted for. So those were the issues that I came up, and they're pretty adamant about it at every township hall meeting I went to. And I can understand their thoughts and why they're upset. I can understand that.
If they think they were doing a good job, they can come here and tell us too. I don't mind.
If they were, yeah. If they were,
If we were, yeah.
that's a big word, if.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here for public comment. Does anybody have any public comment they'd like to make to the board right now? Sheriff Gilbert.
I would advise the commissioners, when you go to your township meetings and there's a question about the patrol, have them get a hold of me directly, and I will inform them of what's going on, rather than coming to the commissioners. If they seem to have a problem with something, I would like to know directly from them what the problem is, and maybe we can come down to a solution, just for the record.
I know, but you're here at the county commissioner meetings, so if they brought it,
My door is always open to anybody that wants to come and see me.
and I understand that.
That's what I'd say, call it direct. They can call it directly, any department head. No.
You can, but if you're not satisfied with that, you're always welcome to, you're always welcome,
Call me, maybe they will get satisfied.
maybe.
There's a reason for everything that we do over there. Do I like it? Absolutely not. Do I have manpower? Absolutely not. Just like every other agency in the state of Michigan and beyond. There is a decrease of law enforcement, period. That's the issue. And that's why I'm trying to get people in the academies to fulfill that position.
How many deputies do you have, Sheriff Gilbert?
You probably already know the answer, don't you?
Tell me.
7.
7.
We can talk about this at a committee.
I've got 10.
We can talk about, so he's got officers and everything. He's got command also. You asked deputies. I think you're including some command people
2.
who are different.
I don't think they're any different. They're in the union.
Well,
They're being paid by road patrol.
they got
They
got
know how to
titles.
drive.
It's titles.
I don't care about a title.
Well, you ask about a deputy.
As far as I'm concerned, if you're paying by road patrol millage, you should be on road patrol. That's my.
Let's move this to committee as a whole and we can talk about it at that point. And if you got specific questions, we can send them to the sheriff, so
I will.
he can do his homework.
Thank you, Craig.
Nice
If
fire.
you have any
station.
comments from the floor, please step forward. State your name.
Dan Domzowski, Foster Township, candidate for supervisor. We had a pretty healthy meeting. Craig, you missed it. Tuesday. We probably had close to 40 people there, so that's what I've ever seen.
Well, his mom's
I know.
90th
I
birthday,
explained
so
it was
I had to
90th
take
birthday, we had to be there, so. But anyway, they had a lot of concerns and, you know, I didn't get a chance to see you today, so I was gonna say if you could probably be there next time and hear firsthand some of their questions they have. And try to get some of the things resolved. So it was quite a long meeting.
I'll see you at the bakery. You can fill me in.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have any comments? Comments from the floor? Yes.
Robert Kowalski, Edwards Township Supervisor. As Brenda mentioned, some of the people in my township were concerned about the millage for 24 patrol, and then from midnight to 6 being on call. So there was a concern about that as to what the millage was being used for, if not for what it was dedicated for. So I understand that there was some conversation. I'll get with you, Sheriff. I'm just trying to get the correct information because we're hearing different answers. And if a millage was set for one thing, that people want to know why it's not being used for that thing.
Come and see me, please.
I will, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for coming tonight.
Anyone else have anything from the floor? Okay. We're now going into closed session to discuss,
I'll make a motion. We go into closed session under MCL 15.268(1)(c). To discuss collective bargaining.
we have a motion, do we have support?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
You gotta do a roll.
Opposed? Okay, we're now going to closed session.
Madam Chair, I think you need to do a roll call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Have a roll call.
I think it is.
Oh, roll call? Thank you.
Roger Mayhew,
Yeah, I'm here.
Brenda,
Yes,
Brenda Simmons, Craig Scott,
Yes.
Charles Wiltie.
Yes.
okay, we're now going into closed session.
Hey, Tony, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. See you soon. Appreciate you being here.
I've got. Any other business we have to discuss?
You gotta take a vote on,
Oh,
take a roll call vote on that.
To go back in.
Well, to close, and then we gotta open. Okay.
great. Find it, Tim.
Brenda Simmons,
Yes.
Craig Scott,
Yes.
Charles Wiltie.
Yes.
Roger Mayhew.
I'll make a motion to go back into open session.
Or
Call for that.
Roll call. Here it is.
Craig Scott,
Yes.
Charles Wiltie.
yes.
Brenda Simmons.
Yes.
Yeah, we're an open session right now. Of course, no one else is on. That'd be your turn.
We're in open session, right?
Right?
Any other business? Anybody want to discuss?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Jim, I've got this here.